That was a fun Champions League match day one. We're gonna skip United. We're not covering that today, so we're gonna move on to. All right, so Young Boys versus Man United. Young Boys look like they can win the Champions League, if I'm being honest. Don't you
Young
agree,
boys
Logic?
played like old men.
Yeah,
In Ole,
exactly.
this was an Ole special. I just want to throw this out there. This is 3, 4, 5 good games. That good feeling starts to set in. You get a little bit of comfort. You start like, resting up at night. And one of these games, this is an Ole special.
This is the Ole Sheffield United game that just comes out of the blue. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like
But it
poor
always
substitution.
comes up after 6, 5, 6, 7 good games. It always does manage to come up.
Um, Young Boys played really, really well, but the substitutions were kind of odd as well. But look, I'm trying to look at positives. Donny van de Beek got 45 minutes, played well as a 6, and Jesse Lingard got an assist. So I'm kind of really, really happy. No, that was a good assist, Joe. Come on, man. I mean, he practically gave the goal away. No? All right, fine. At least there's a positive on this. Villarreal, Atalanta, they drew, so United. It's still an open group in a tough, tough group of death here. So, Chelsea begin their Champions League defense.
No, like let Gaurav if he has anything
No,
to.
no, I don't want to hear from him. We don't need
Does
to
he
hear.
have anything to get off his chest?
We don't. We
Get
don't.
it out now.
No, we don't need to hear from him. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh God, wait!
No,
I have
no.
to stop laughing before I start talking.
Give him
Oh,
some time. Let's move on.
Like there's an Oscar speech. First, I'd like to thank this, and then
yeah, first, I'd like to thank my brain for fucking seeing this come a mile away. You can fucking spend all the money you want, man. As long as Ole's manager, you're not gonna win diddly squat, motherfucker. Or at least shit that matters.
2 years
like,
ago, he was saying
so
it
like,
completely different. Ole might
like,
actually win something.
how the
Like he
fuck?
changes, he changes his
How
mind
the
like every 3
fuck?
seconds.
How the fuck do you ruin a 13-minute lead against Young Boys with Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch? Like even oh man, like even after Wan-Bissaka goes off, you're like, this is United, right? But I'm like, this is United, right? We know what's gonna happen. We know exactly what's gonna happen. And I was
It
like,
is.
it's gonna be fucking good. And it was, man. It was. That guy, as soon as you were at a disadvantage, he fucking shrunk, man. He just shriveled up. And that was it. You went 5 at the back. Like, just absolutely gave the game to Young Boys and said, here, have the ball and try as hard as you want to get through us. Which, you give enough team enough tries, you give any team enough tries, they'll get through you, man. They will. So, here you are. And you'll probably still finish top of the group, right? And that's great. That's fantastic. Because that gives us every chance to enjoy a capitulation in the knockout stages.
I mean, it's almost as bad as a title defense where you lose 6 home games in a row, but we'll move on. Chelsea and their Champions League defense. Any thoughts on that?
Chelsea is doing what United should be doing with the confidence they're playing with. Like Chelsea is the blueprint, not United. I don't know what the hell they're doing at United. It's the only positive, by the way, for the United thing is that it's the first game. That's the only thing. Get it out early and whatever. But Chelsea, Lukaku, everything going backwards more than playing forwards, playing backwards. And it is when Chelsea score one, they look for a second immediately, and that hunger, like you can see, they're going for 2-3-4-0 kind of thing. United, I don't disagree with them. They shrunk, and it was weird, but with Chelsea, they look a monster, and they have a full like their sub squad is just as strong as their A squad almost. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think signing Lukaku was quite a big deal. They played against Zenit who played with a very low block, didn't create many chances, but never really bet against Chelsea. And
Yeah. think with Chelsea, the scenario that you have is like you have a squad of very experienced players, namely, right? You've got the likes of like Thiago Silva in there. You've got like everyone in that Chelsea squad has played a lot of fucking top quality Champions League games. So like they have the blueprint, like Majid said. They have that blueprint going forward where they're unstoppable when they want to be. And when they smell blood, they go for it. And that's one of the two ingredients of every champion side. Every side that becomes a champion in the league or in the Champions League has relentlessness going forward and solidity when defending. They don't have to make too many last ditch like efforts and last ditch talents because they stop things at the front or they stop things from ever coming to a dangerous area. So Chelsea are very good defensively, and I think, you know, that's going to be the bedrock on which they sort of build this season. Adding Lukaku to that mix, it's scary, right? And you'd expect them to top this group for sure. You'd expect them to go really far in defending their title as well. Chelsea are going to be dangerous, man.
Absolutely. Where do you think they're going to finish in the CL? How far do you think they can go?
I think they can go all the way to the semifinals, and then it's anybody's game.
Good shout. Right, Chelsea were very impressive. Just a point about Juve, they beat giant killers for them, Malmo. They're 16th in their domestic league, Juventus. So this was a huge win for them. Well done. And Gaurav, talk to us about our favorite club. You know, the one that really capitulates in Europe over the last few years, Barcelona. Talk to me about them.
Ah, man, like their bank balance, Barcelona's fortunes on the pitch are fucking abysmal. Just sucks. To be honest, like the first half and the first 20 minutes, Barca looked bright. They looked like they were trying to get forward at every opportunity. And after that, it was all Bayern, to be really honest with you, man. It was really all Bayern. Bayern dominated the majority of the good chances. Bayern dominated the possession that mattered. Barcelona didn't really seem to have much of a plan going forward. It kind of seemed a bit messed up. Like they were throwing long balls to Depay, and like that. I've never understood why you would do that. Like it's just not going to work. And apparently that's the way Koeman wants them to play. Maybe we're seeing something building, and we're seeing a fledgling football style that's going to grow into something much better through the course of their season. But right now, they look pretty shit. A couple of bright points for Barcelona. Pedri, always fantastic, always great to watch, always does the right thing. But even he had a hard game because he was just completely outnumbered in that midfield. Barcelona just didn't seem to have legs in that midfield. And once Bayern put a foot on the ball, they absolutely just dominated the game and were able to create chance after chance after chance. And the difference is, without Leo Messi, dude, without Leo Messi, you don't have Jesus to come down and just save you from the heavens whenever you need a goal or whenever you need some inspiration. So this is a new reality for Barcelona. Bayern, on the other hand, clinical, perfect. Exactly what you want to do. Exactly what you want to do to one of your big Champions League rivals, a big group rival, and probably what you would have considered a rival for the tournament.
A tale of two teams. Again, I'll say this: Bayern Munich is what Barcelona wishes they were, right? Like they've had that domestic dominance, they've had that Champions League ambition, perennial Champions League ambition. But they're also financially stable and successful, and they've been doing it for like, I'm saying 30 years now. It's been a factory line. It's not, and that's not simple to do. There was like German football has seen like a great bust up in that time, but Bayern just has continued to do what they do, kind of thing, year in year out. with turnover. This game was just continuous. Grab mentioned Messi. Even with Messi, they lost 8-2 to the same team, and it's been a continuation of that. Like it's a 3-0 continuation, if you will. And they are a tale of two teams. Bayern Munich is quite established, and they're looking towards now. What can we do now? Win now, sort of thing. Especially as Lewandowski is getting older and older. Whereas Barcelona, it almost feels like they're in denial, but they're clearly in rebuild. You've lost Messi, you've lost like a number of the components throughout the years at which you didn't, and your bank balance on top of all of this, you're dealing with like the fiscal authorities. So they really are, I really do mean a tale of like this game in particular, and the fact that Bayern put 3-0 sort of sums it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of shocking. Not shocking to see, but I feel like they're becoming the next Man United in Europe in terms of their decline. I had to take a shot at my own team there. Look, we've talked about one disgusting club from Spain in Barcelona. Talk to me about the other, Majid. How did Real Madrid do?
Um, they're resilient, if nothing else. Even from a financial standpoint, they've, despite having Galacticos and whatnot, having a certain image, they've been very resilient. It was an interesting game. It was a true day one sort of game. They were a little bit loose. It was not end to end per se, but there was like back and forth, definite back and forth. Inter actually had the better chances and looked the more enterprising side, but Real squeaked through right at the end. That doesn't mean Real had their own chances as well, and sometimes they just pissed them away. Benzema, this dude, I still have never, I can't figure these French players in general. This is a trait of theirs. They're like Pakistani cricketers. You don't know what you're gonna get. One day you can get this, the next day you can get that, and it's the same with French footballers. You don't know. Life is like a box of chocolates. Forrest Gump. You don't know what you're gonna get or whatever. Like it's the same with these fucking French footballers. Some days Benzema looks unstoppable, and then there's other days like today where he just, I don't know, he didn't. He's there, but he's not really there. But Real, well done, Ancelotti. Uh, the guy knows football, if nothing else, and he does know, like he does know how to win. And I'm surprised because with him, he's a coach that's proven to be successful on every level of football. Mid-tier, he did Everton. He was pretty decent with Everton. Uh, with big clubs, he's done, like he has a history with big clubs, so he's an interesting figure. Just I was thinking about that during the game.
Yeah.
I love me some Ancelotti, man. I love that guy. Like, give me that eyebrow anytime. Just wiggle that shit.
On that note,
that guy's tactically fucking fantastic, and Real are going to be dangerous as well, man. I don't think they're going to go as far as like the better teams, because they just don't have that balance. And to be honest, they just don't have like the muscle in terms of like experience, in terms of just in terms of like star power. They don't have enough goals in that team, and their spine isn't strong enough for me. But I think they still will be good. It's just a matter of like how much can like Ancelotti squeeze out of that squad.
well, they have over 130 to maybe 170 million to spend next year. All that money from Mbappe. I mean, they brought Camavinga, who's going to be a player of the future, and they're going to sign Mbappe on a free next season, most likely. So definitely one to watch for the future. Now, we had another classic in the Champions League, a tie which has a lot of history. Liverpool and Milan. A repeat of that wonderful 2007 final, Champions League final. Really, really love that game.
Yeah, that was something, and so was this. This was a fucking fantastic game. This was absolutely fucking amazing. Like just from start to end, it was a great game to watch. Liverpool for the first like 25, the first entire half, absolutely swarmed Milan all over the pitch. Henderson was fantastic throughout the game. And honestly, even the two goals that we conceded, watching them again, and even when we were watching them live, it just seemed like the whole team just sort of switched off. Like Keita doesn't come across fast enough for the first goal. Fabinho gets wrong-footed and turned inside out. And then for the second goal, Matip is in the right place. Gomez is not following his man. Matip gets an unlucky deflection and it goes in. It was like a lull for like 5 minutes, and Milan absolutely capitalized on that. And good on them, man, because they were clinical. But besides that, they didn't really create that much going forward. I'd like to think that Liverpool pretty much dominated proceedings. I think we had so many shots on target, man. It must have been like, I would say it's over 10. It was insane to watch. We were really good going forward. I saw some things that were really interesting during that game. Mo Salah missing a penalty for the first time in 2.5 years. It's pretty insane. So that was unique. Trent popping up in midfield has been going on quite a bit this season. And not popping up like he's taking over someone's position, but during transition and while they're sort of spreading the field, there is a bit of space sometimes that Henderson leaves while he goes forward. And Trent seems to be popping into that space quite a bit and creating from there. The first goal came as a result of him just going forward from Salah's overlap and cutting inside. And that was it's good to see him getting in those positions and really capitalizing on his pace, his touch, his passing ability, and his technique. And then, Robertson was fantastic on the left. We just had a really good game all around. Gomez looked rusty, I'm not going to lie. Matip looked good. I don't really blame Matip for the goals. I would say all around really strong. Salah missing a penalty was pretty shitty. It was pretty shocking, especially after those 2 goals. But then having him score that second goal, which is a great fucking equalizer, a beautiful ball, great finish, and then Henderson sealing it with that fucking smash from outside the box, and that celebration was just amazing. That was like the cherry on top of like a perfect Champions League night at Anfield, man. It reminded me of the 2018-2019 Champions League opener when we hosted PSG and we won 2-1. And Bobby Firmino came off the bench, scored in one eye, and then did this.
Do you think, by the way, Trent in midfield is something that could happen? Because he said he really wanted to make the right back his own, and that's where he enjoys playing.
Yeah, and I think last week, Jurgen Klopp was interviewed about, he was asked the same question. Would you want to use Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield, and do you see him moving him there and using him more in midfield? And he said, I don't understand this question. I don't understand the desire to turn him into a midfielder. He's the best right back in the world. Why would I want to turn the best right back in the world into something else?
He suits their style of play as well.
Yeah, and look, man, he combines so well with Salah on that right hand side. And when he is on that right hand side, he really has the entire pitch to pass into. And Liverpool use that a lot. Robertson runs with the ball more. Trent is like having Rory McIlroy with a fucking pitching wedge, just throwing like fucking balls anywhere on the pitch.
I think it's because the right back position has been ruined by Gary Neville. Nobody wants to be another Gary Neville, as the famous Jamie Carragher said. But so good result for Liverpool. I'm not a dick to Gary Neville. He was the best right back in the Premier League till Trent came along. I watched a cracker of a game with City and Leipzig. Ended up 6-3. I genuinely thought this game could have ended up 5-5, 7-5. Like you name it. It was weird. It had some great goals, and it had the most comical defending you will ever see in your entire life. From an own goal where the guy tries to head it back to his goalkeeper, but it looked like a really good striker's header. Then you had what did he have? Kevin De Bruyne trying to track someone back, running into the referee, falling over, and the guy crosses the ball and it scores.
Not KDB.
Then you had Tyler Adams for Leipzig's 4th goal, where He kind of is just walking back, and Grealish just runs onto it and then curls a good goal. It's nice to see the Guardian and their English writers giving Grealish all the credit and not the poor defending on display. I mean, it was just bizarre, and also a handball for a penalty, bit harsh, but Champions League rules, but still just comical defending. Leipzig were kind of angry the entire time. They kept kicking City all over the pitch, and that's why they got their player got a second yellow card. But a shout out to their player, I think his name is Nkuke, and I mispronounced that. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with these names. And
Kunku.
Nkunku, that's it, Nkunku. I can type it, I can't say it, but he scored a hat trick for Leipzig, which is very impressive. That being said, City's defense was a bit comical as well. Not gonna lie. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm happy to see it, but I don't know what's going on with them. Free scoring, but to concede a hat trick against a Leipzig team that's not doing very well in the Bundesliga, I think that rings a few alarm bells. So fingers crossed they don't get out of their group of death, but most likely they will.
In the modern era of football, in the last 1, 2, 3 years, you have to. Every side, somehow, for some reason, has shown comical defending at times. What they've also shown is you have to be able to score 6 if you're going to let in 3. It really is that simple. You have to
City
have
can
the
do it.
confidence to continue playing your game and scoring 6 because you know you can trust your guys back. And it's every team. I'm really, really City. You're saying for today, United have just recently, but they've like throughout the thing they've given up bad goals. Liverpool last year was not. They have the excuse, VVD and all that, but that doesn't excuse professional footballers from schoolboy errors. Um, Plus, my point is, if you're gonna give up 3 this way easily, and congratulations to Nkunku, you have to be able to score 6. And United, but I just want to go back to that. When they were up, they didn't. For some reason, they're not being told to score 6. Go, just shoot and score. They're being told win the game, and that's very different. Score 6 versus win the game are very different philosophies.
Look, I just kind of want to temper that a little bit. I think you're not giving young boys a lot of credit. I think they're going to win the Champions League. So we're going to round that off with that. Just congratulations to young boys for a really fantastic victory. My Champions League, not dark horses, outright winners. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Like and subscribe, and please push and bet on young boys to win the Champions League. That is my prediction. Take care, everyone.